And hello. Welcome to the Generic Paranormal Show. I'm your host, KD, and this is my co host, Austin.
Austin Maynard.
Yeah, KD Stafford, I guess, but who cares, really? Who cares about I'm a man without a last name. I'm kind of like Michael Knight from Knight Rider. You know, he had the car, kit, super cool. David Hasselhoff, like super
The
big.
artist normalist,
Dude.
formerly known as Kenneth.
I'm like him, just without the good looks, the money, the badass AI, hyper intelligent car, the gadgets, especially. Well, I do have the watch that he had, but it does not talk. It does not speak to my shitty Sorrento, my shitty 2012 Sorrento. It does not speak to it, and my Sorrento makes a lot of noises though, but it doesn't talk. Anyways, moving right along. Hey, what's up, Dad? What's up, old? This is Calvin. That's Katie's dad. I call him Dad because he calls me son.
Wait, hold on. Can I see the chat? I can't see the chat.
I call him Dad. I call him Father because he calls me son.
Why?
What's up, buddy? How you doing out there? You still out in Tennessee? I assume everything's cool out there. Love Tennessee. But that's where Katie and I spent our honeymoon was in Tennessee. We was so broke. That's right. That's right, Dad. Yeah, I am your son. Right. Well, you're the closest thing I got. I'll tell you that. Anybody who knows my sob story, that's for a whole other day. But anyways, moving right along. Yeah, that's Katie's dad. So he's a retired command sergeant major, and then continued to do work for the DoD even afterwards. And the
Thank you
pay.
for your service, sir.
I mean, I know he's getting paid. I know he made bank doing it, but it still ain't worth all the sacrificing all the time and everything. I mean,
Well, I also imagine that if he were to,
we do
there's
what
a
we
lot
call.
of secrets he's probably got to keep.
Oh yeah, no, he was a big time dude, man. He's probably still a big time dude, but he wouldn't tell you if he was, because then he'd have to kill you. He's kind of like, I look at him like, you remember what was the movie, the Fockers, Meet the Fockers?
Yeah.
Like what? I'm having a brain fart. The guy, the idiot actor who's been a real big idiot lately. He was in all
Ben
the mafia
Stiller?
movies. No, the mafia movies.
Oh,
Jesus
Robert De
Christ.
Niro.
Robert De
De
Niro.
Niro.
Yes, the idiot, the flaming moron. Yes, that guy. So yeah, just he's one of those assholes who's in Hollywood who just feels like everybody just is chomping at the bit to hear their freaking stupid opinion, and nobody cares. Literally, like the people who care about what Robert De Niro says about politics. I feel like, I've always been big on, like voting and the right to vote, and everybody who's a citizen, legal US citizen, should have the right to vote, except some people. If you're stupid, if you're like, I don't even know what my IQ is. I assume it's probably average. I don't know. But
I would
like
put you
you have
probably
to be
more like,
super
I'd
low
say you're
IQ to
definitely
put so
above
much.
110.
Well, you have to be super low IQ to put so much stock in what celebrities freaking and what their opinion is on things. 'Cause look at where they live, man. Look at where they live. Look at Taylor Swift's properties, her homes. She lives in like let's get a picture of her in front of her multi-million dollar multiple mansions and get her saying, "Oh, the economy's great." I just hate, I'm
Or,
not
you know,
shilling
you got
I'm just
Michelle
saying
Obama and Oprah up on
it's
stage telling
bullshit. It's
people to not
bullshit
trust.
when celebrities come out and just think that's like when COVID, when they had us all locked in our houses and wouldn't let people go to work and made people ruin so many people's lives and probably increase the opioid epidemic. It's just like then, right? You know what? I ain't even gonna do all that. We talking about zombie apocalypse tonight, but actually, all this bullshit we're talking about right here could very well lead to it. Look at the coof, right? The coof, the plague of 2020, right? The plague who shall not be named. You can say it nowadays, but I get enough copyright claims and all other kind of crazy stuff on here for some reason. I don't know why. We got a copyright claim last week for last week's live stream, and I think all we watched was like a super short video on the shape of the freaking universe, man. Like what
I
the hell?
think that
Like what
we
is the
need
deal with that?
to,
I need to
what we need
investigate
to
that, and
do.
I don't know. Yeah, I need to look and see first who, like, what part of the video is claimed, right? I just this is all kind of new to me. I never really gave a shit before, so now I guess I don't want people making money off of us because we're definitely not making money. But you never know. One day we could be super famous and have be like Joe Rogan and I don't know whoever and like make millions of dollars. And then, but these videos right here, all the ones that have been copyrighted, guess what? We don't get that money. So that's kind of bullshit. I got kicked off of freaking TikTok the other day, yesterday. I got banned for like 24 hours. I don't even know what I did. I got banned from live streaming. Yeah. I said I was hey Beth, hey William, hey Colleen. Yeah, so they didn't say what they didn't even tell me what I did. I started live streaming. I was at work, right? But I was driving to Lawson, Missouri, or I'm sorry, Lawson, Kansas, right? Because we have bars and stuff out there, locations with games in them. So I was going out there to work on some games, and so I was like, I had to drive out there from Missouri, right? Not from work. It was from like Blue Springs. So it was like a hour drive. So I was like, I'm gonna do a little live streaming, just to kill some time, have some fun, whatever. Talk
Mhm.
about whatever randomness pops into my ADD brain. And uh I'm sitting there live streaming. As I'm coming into the city of Lawrence, I'm like, so this is the city of Lawrence. It was a big deal during the Civil War. You had they were abolition. This was an abolitionist state, and Lawson Lawson was like there was a lot of abolitionist people there, and the Union was there, and they were trying to keep slavery out of uh, you know, Kansas, and you had the William uh, Quantrell's Raiders, right? That was like a guerrilla, Confederate guerrilla. Um, uh, I guess you'd say like a organized crime types. They were like organized criminals. They didn't really have missions. Their missions were to cause chaos and kind of be a thorn in the side of the union more than anything else. I think that was what their purpose was. Anyways, so I was
Makes sense.
talking about that and their interaction, Jesse, Quantrell's Raiders raided Lawson back in the day. And then next thing you know, blip goes the TikTok screen goes white, and then for like a minute it was froze, and then I was able to back out, and then it said that I was allowed to be a guest on somebody else's live stream, but I was not. I was suspended from live streaming until September 26th. This was 25th. It was yesterday, so I guess I can stream now. Fuck, I don't know.
Oh,
That's
they
the S
didn't give you
word.
any kind of rating?
What is the S word, hon? Katie.
Shit.
Hey, haunted MVC. That must be
Shit.
um
Shit.
huh?
The S word? Shit.
What shit?
Or stupid? Or
I say way worse than
segregation?
that. I mean,
What?
oh, somebody didn't like the history. Maybe that could have been it, but I didn't even say anything. All I said, I didn't even talk that much about the abolitionist side of it. I was just like, yeah, they were abolitionists here, and then you had the Confederate
Oh, you may have said
guerrillas.
slavery. That's
I
what it
did.
was.
I didn't even say. I didn't say slavery. Maybe I did.
Well, maybe you were talking about it and made reference to it or something, and you know how it is over there. They're fucking all. I don't know. No, because that's China.
15.
TikTok is China, so you wouldn't think. I don't know.
It's a damn. Everything's there's so much going on right now. I'm so
Where?
I don't know. Just around. I'm like, it's been a long day, dude. Like I did so much work that I didn't have to. Anyways,
Where you
yeah,
lost?
I think it was because I mentioned the slavery word, and I was just using it in a historical context. I wasn't like advocating for it or anything, you
Right.
know.
You might have to
It's
do a
ridiculous.
review.
Well, yeah, I don't care. It's freaking TikTok. Like, I don't give a shit about TikTok anyway.
Yeah. Right.
TikTok kind of sucks. Anyways, all right. So we're talking about zombie apocalypses, and this is actually could this is one method that could lead us to a zombie apocalypse. A stupidity virus, right? A mind virus that where your brain literally rots. It's called, could
World
be called
virus?
brain rot, whatever. And this could happen all at once, like a pandemic, or it could happen slowly over time. But it seems like it's beginning to be increasingly common. Um,
The woke mind virus?
yeah, well, not even necessarily woke. I mean, but yeah, woke, right? But
I was just
that's a
calling.
money, that's a cash grab. Those people don't care about people. They don't care about they don't care about these communities
I was
that
just
come.
using
They don't
Elon
give a shit.
Musk's words.
Elon Musk is different. He's not your typical corporate billionaire CEO type dude.
Well, no, but his he describes it. 'Cause he said that like his daughter or his son or somebody, like he lost. Said that he lost them to the woke mind
Oh
virus.
yeah, well he did. Yeah, his son. Yeah, it's sad. I I
Yeah,
I do not admire. I would not want to go through what he has to go through with that. That seems to me like just trying to imagine being in his shoes. That's crazy situation, man.
that'd be a
Anyways,
lot to pick on
but
at once.
but the okay, so like let's say a pandemic, right? And
Mhm.
oh wow, let's say like it's not even crazy to say. Let's say it's not
Like
even
World War
you
Z
can't
or
even be
like
like, oh, that only happens in movies, right? Anymore because like it doesn't, man. This is like real shit. The pandemic was started by by a virus that was engineered, genetically engineered by humans, not accidentally,
yeah,
with the
no,
intent
they call it gain
to
of.
make it
They
more
call it
viral and more dangerous. Yes, they call it gain of function testing. Yes, I know, but gain of function testing, what that means is they want, instead of waiting around for, damn, I feel like if this was ever going to get monetized, I don't think we'll ever get monetized anyway. We curse way too much and whatever, so who cares? But
fuck it.
so like that was they genetically engineered that shit, right? And the idea
Right.
with gain of function is to apparently like and we're not giving any health advice or any of that crap. So don't
Nope.
we're talking about stuff, not giving nobody no health advice on or nothing about no vaccination type anything. But
Yeah.
the virus itself was like 100% proven. And you know what's messed up is when it was said in the beginning, when people said, well, it probably was engineered in China, because they're known to be doing this type of work. Everybody lost their minds.
Mhm.
Oh, you're terrible, you terrible person, you
That kind of
terrible
was what it was
person.
like. What?
But you know what?
You're
Okay,
part of the
but
problem.
but but like okay, so that's the thing. It wasn't. I think the response was a normal response. it was a response from a society who has not had a global pandemic in freaking like like almost a century, right? Like what, 1918? Was that the Spanish flu? I don't know, somewhere around there,
Well,
right?
no, SARS came in somewhere like after
I
World
ain't
War
I
II,
ain't
I
Katie.
think.
I'm just talking about like a general pandemic. Nah, SARS, but SARS wasn't SARS was just a upper respiratory
I
type
mean,
infection is all that means. That's a blank. I think that's like a blanket.
well,
That's kind
like
of
when
like
we
the
talk
C
about
word
SARS,
with
though,
the
we're
coof.
talking about well, we're talking about like they said
Well, I don't want
something
to get in
about
all. I don't want to get into all that. I'm just saying, look, it was genetically engineered in a lab, right? And
right.
you know, everybody before like 20 years ago, that would have been ridiculous. They made movies about that because it was so outlandish. They would make action movies about it where the hero had to stop some terrorist from, releasing some
Unleashing the virus.
virus that would kill millions of people and whatnot, right? And it's
Yeah.
like it's and look, oh, guess what? The unthinkable, the what used to be, you could only think of as fiction, right?
Like
Something
nobody's
out of the
that stupid type of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of like the movie Idiocracy. They like when they picked Crocs for everybody, shoes for everybody to wear, because the director thought that those shoes were so silly looking that surely that would never catch on, and nobody would ever wear Crocs. It would never be a thing. And now look around, and it's like here we are. And that's just one. That's just one reference to Idiocracy. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Ebola, man, right? And like, so, like, what do you do? It's like these people don't really want to stop anything from. They want to just. I don't even know what the purpose of like spinning. Like, okay, so when an outbreak starts happening, right, and it starts getting reported all in other countries, and you're like, shit, and there's people in the states starting to get sick, and it's like, kind of mysterious, don't know what it is. Some people are dying, right?
Yeah.
But it hadn't like gotten through the channels yet, like the mass consciousness, health wise, in the across the globe hadn't realized, oh hey, well,
Yeah.
there's something going on. If they did, then they sure didn't really say anything, right? Because it was like, oh, we don't know. It's some kind of mysterious blah blah blah, and it was like that for like a week, bro. And but there were people dying, right? And then like, so anyway, I'm just saying that could have that's like a precursor for what could happen if some shit just oops, uh oh well, oh, we had a lab leak. Look at that, the freaking T virus escaped. Oh darn. I mean,
I mean, I
the
think mistakes
that's the
could like
same
that
thing,
could
right? The T
happen.
virus, they could be altering that what's that spore, the fungus that gets in ants, it gets in like the material that ants eat, and the ants eat it,
Yeah,
and then goes, it like when they ingest it, it goes to their
takes over
brain,
them. Yeah,
and it
yeah,
takes
I know
over their
what you're trying
brain,
to.
and it like controls it turns the ant into a zombie, causes it to climb up a tree, and then out
Mhm.
to the tallest branch, to the tallest point it can, and then latch onto the leaf where it just dies, and then a spore pops out of his head and explodes, and that's how the freaking fungus reproduces, because the spores float down to the forest floor below. That's insane, dude. Okay,
Actually,
so
yeah.
so how difficult would it be to make that, like, cross over to a human, where a human could, where that shit would like look for a human host? It's a parasite essentially, but it wouldn't be much of a leap to do that if you're already taking just like a common cold. I don't know. I don't know all the science. I don't give a shit, whatever about the coof thing. But I'm just saying, if you could take whatever they took that from originally, that virus, that infection from, and then make it so viral, so contagious, that it just spread like wildfire throughout the whole world. That's a pretty because they said it came from a they were working on that strain from bats, right? Isn't
Mm,
that right? Right? Because they
what?
were trying to say, oh, somebody got bit by a bat too after
Oh well, yeah, it's because
after the what's the animal they tried to say that it was because they were eating what was
monkeys or
no, it wasn't a
fucking
monkey, it was the friggin' somebody in the chat. What is it? Cordyceps. That's right, Tim. Hey Darian, what's up?
the fuck is a
What's up?
cordyceps?
One of my favorite my favorite niece because Hunter don't ever say nothing to me. The cordyceps fungus is like a fungus. It's not a virus. It's a fungus. Look,
I thought you were talking. I mean, I know the
that's what the
cordyceps is
ants
that what?
get. Yeah, that's what the
Yeah,
ants get, and it causes them to. But there's
but
also
that's
another
another
one,
one.
and it might be the same one. It's just called something else back in the day. Love you too, Darian.
Well,
Miss
you
you too.
were talking about. Well,
Click
yeah, he
that.
was putting a comment from a previous thing you said because it's a delay.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But what
Right.
was the animal that they were eating? I don't know. I think it was like I thought it was either a bat or um.
It was a pangolin. A
Oh,
pangolin.
really?
Yes,
I
that's what they
didn't
were
hear
saying
that.
in the news on CNN. I remember they were showing pictures of the wet market in
Yeah,
in freaking Wuhan, and they were showing
right.
pictures. And it probably wasn't even actually pictures of the pangolins actually in Wuhan at that point in time. They probably just showed like a picture. This is how editing magic works, right? They'll take some footage of the wet market, right? And they'll get some actual footage from when they were there, and then they'll just throw in like some footage that they have like stored back in the freaking CNN vaults of a pangolin in a cage somewhere, and then just flash that up and be like, oh, yep, there we go. You wouldn't know what those people are saying. You can't understand what those people are saying that they're interviewing. So how the hell, like, come on, man. All that was just so crazy, man. And it was like anytime they said some dumb shit and you were like, I don't believe that. They're like, you were the psycho, right? So is
Right.
that going to be the case when they freaking genetically alter the cordyceps fungus and then it's able to or it actually starts seeking out like a human host? I mean, it's not the first time anybody's ever thought of that. It's like not every, but it's probably half of the plots. Okay, for it's probably the plot of a quarter to half of zombie
Well,
movies,
like
I would
Tim
say.
said in the
Some sort of
chat,
alien infection, virus, whatever. Anyway, go
like
ahead.
like Tim said in the chat, like from the show The Game and the TV show The Last of Us.
Yeah, The Last of Us, that's exactly what it was, right? Like
Yeah. Mhm.
it was like the fungus, right? But I don't think the Last of Us, it seemed like everything broke down so quickly and just all at once. I don't think it would go like that. Um
Mm,
so I used to have this like ridiculous phobia. I don't even know what you would call of what would you call a fear of zombies?
I have no idea. To be honest with you,
It's
I didn't
called
think that. I
kin
mean,
kinermo kin kinemortobi kinemortophobia. Kinemortophobia. That's a hard word to say. Kinemor or kindmortophobia, but I think it's kinemortophobia. So
okay.
okay, so I used to have kinemortophobia. Okay, just learned a new word. It's a great word. Okay, everybody's gonna be using
The
it soon.
greatest, the
It's
greatest,
gonna
the
be the greatest
greatest
word.
ever.
We're gonna make it
He found the word. He discovered it.
right. They've tried to take this word out several times. Not gonna happen. Anyways, sorry, I got carried away with my Trump impression. All right, here we go.
You do. You tend to do that.
I do. I'm sorry. All right, so kinemortophobia. Fear of zombies.
Okay.
I didn't know. I never thought about it. I just now thought, well, yeah, there's probably a word for that because there's a
But I feel like if zombies were actually a real threat, like everybody would have that. And I feel
Well,
like a
see,
lot of people do
that
have
is
it.
the threat of zombies, though, is that okay, when you watch a zombie movie, they
Oh,
never,
like you mean like
like,
a real life zombie
actually
apocalypse
believe that they're
weapon.
zombies, right? They're always calling them walkers or
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, that
freakers
makes sense.
or Zeeks or deadheads or whatever,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
or mutants even. A lot of shoot, probably half of the zombie movies that came out, the cheesy ones in the 80s and 90s, they just called them mutants, but they were essentially zombies. And I'm not
Yeah,
talking about obviously I'm not talking about the voodoo witchcraft or a voodoo zombie where they give you some kind of puffer fish powder, like makes you
yeah.
mind dead or something. I don't know. That's crazy shit. But this is a different.
But,
But I think it's not out of the realm of impossibility. Considering what we just saw that they could do with, with a virus that is typically only in bat populations, right? In
yeah,
Asia. So, like, specifically,
right.
they took that and they made it a ultra viral freaking, almost like a population thinner, you know? It was almost like a forced natural selection, so unnatural selection, right? Because that's what you get when you're tinkering with stuff like that, when you start cloning stuff, cloning, like, any of that could go wrong. So there's so much, like, we're playing
Yeah.
God so much these days with technology, and I don't expect it to stop. I don't expect there to ever be some. I mean, what do you think? You think people are ever gonna just be like, "Oh, you know what? Maybe we're messing around too much. We probably shouldn't go there. Let's just, kinda like, because 'cause they're being so level-headed about AI, right? They're not rushing
No, I
AI
don't
at
think.
all. Come on.
I mean, I don't think that. Like, I think that people freak out about things, and it never ends up being as bad as they think it's going to be. However, I think that technology will get to a point where um, like it'll get to a point where people are already abusing technology. Like, and when I say abusing, I mean like they spend hours scrolling through their phones or on the
But
computer or watching
is
TV.
that abusing
Um,
technology, or is that just absorbing? Is that just the new way that we're gonna absorb knowledge until we figure out the next way to do it, which is probably gonna be directly linked to our brain, and we'll just kinda shoot it in like Neo in the Matrix style, like, "I know kung fu."
I think it would be nice if people actually did use the scrolling and all that for knowledge, but the problem
Well, that's
is
what you're
most of the
doing.
people
What's
that
the
are
difference?
scrolling through there are
What's the
watching
difference?
TikTok dance videos and all
Well,
that
shit, what's the
bullshit.
difference in
So I
sitting on the
mean that's
couch? What's the difference in sitting on the couch in the '90s with, like, the gold cable package that used to cost, like, $120, the VIP package, and you had, like, 500 channels, but, 448 of them were just complete and total brain rot garbage, trying to sell you shit that you don't need.
yeah, that was the start of it.
And the
That
other
was the
ones
start
were
of it.
just trying to brainwash you. The network cable channels were just trying to brainwash you. Then you had, like, HBO that would play, like, shit movies all the time. They would never play the good ones. They play a good one every once in a while, and you get all excited. Ooh, HBO's finally playing something after I pay $20 a month for it. So, anyways, I digress. Um,
I think
yeah,
that
what's
was
the
the start
difference?
of it was
Is there a difference, actually, I guess is what I'm saying, between sitting on the couch and channel surfing or sitting at your computer and web surfing, or sitting and looking at your phone. It's just going down, to a I think I feel like the majority of people do not use technology, in a healthy way. I feel like that's probably true. I agree with you. I was just kind of devil's advocating that. But, I
playing
kinda
devil's advocate.
yeah, yeah, I agree with you on that because, Yeah, so anyway, but that's just like that's social brain rot. But we're talking about like an actual viral type of infection or something, right? Yeah, I think in Night of the Living Dead it was supposed to be zombies. I think there was some story or not, I mean, yeah, obviously it was zombies. Supposed to be aliens, I think was the original idea. Was because of or it was in the it was actually I think it was in the movie. They talked about it on the radio or something. There was a comet or something that went by, and there was some dust or whatever. I could be wrong.
That makes
Uh,
sense.
Darian, I play games
That
all the
would be a
time.
better.
If you get Wreckfest, we can play video games all we can play games a lot if you get Wreckfest. We'll race damn near every day. So yeah. Hey Nikki Cameron from Perth, Western Australia. Well, good eye. Uh Australia, I used to that used to be on my top 10 list of places to go until I grew up and I realized just that everything in Australia wants to kill you.
Yeah, if
And
you can live in
and I
Australia, you
feel
can
like
live
I
anywhere.
feel like, I could have dodged those fucking giant bird spiders and like, I know drop bears is bullshit, so don't try to pull that one on me. Don't try to pull the drop bears thing on me. Okay, Nikki. Um, but yeah, no, I used to wanna go to Australia, but now I'm too lazy to fight off all the fucking wildlife that's gonna be there. I'm, like, too old for that shit, I'm, like, 2 weeks till retirement. Danny Glover, Lethal Weapon right now, and I ain't trying to die in Australia because I got bit by a fucking rare poisonous toad
Are you
or
really
some
only two
shit.
weeks away? Or
No, I'm
how
joking.
long
It
away?
was I'm s No, it was a joke,
Oh,
bro, about it was a I was making a joke about
oh
being old.
no. All right. I was just making sure, man. I didn't know. Um,
That's my
no,
old man.
I've Australia,
Yes,
man. Yeah,
Nikki,
if you
come
can
to
live in
USA.
Australia,
USA, way fewer animals that wanna kill you. There's still some people that will aren't not
there's some
nice,
trade
but the
offs.
majority of people here are nice, just about everywhere you go in every state. The
Yeah,
majority of people.
yeah. Depends on where you go.
Yeah, you gotta read the room. You gotta read the room.
You go to
Anyway,
Chicago or you go to like New York
so
City.
see
I
so,
really
like
don't.
so what about drugs, though? Could drugs bring on the next or the next, like we've had a previous zombie could drugs bring on a zombie apocalypse?
Well, there's been a lot of talk about that with like the bath salts and like there's that shit over in so I was watching a video for a long time ago. It was called
Yeah,
like
bath salts. Yeah, dude. Yeah, yeah.
well, bath salts, but I'm talking about like there was something called like unga or something. And it was basically like in Jamaica. No, it was like in Jamaica or Haiti. They were like mixing rat poison with marijuana and tobacco. It was like a mixture of a bunch of different stuff, and it would
That's
make people like it would turn people into like brain dead walking individuals for
that's what
however
Jeremy.
long.
That what Jeffrey Dahmer was ultimately trying to do too. He was trying to create like a zombie sex slave. Like he was doing weird
Mm-hmm.
shit like that. Also, like
It almost
I
did.
don't I don't know.
It almost worked.
It's like it's crazy that people exist that want to turn people into zombies. There's some people just want to see the world burn or see the world turn, into mindless zombies. Now, speaking of the zombie apocalypse, I feel like I need to mention a book that also later became a blockbuster, multi-million dollar budget movie with a starring Brad Pitt. Okay, World War Z. Which that movie, let me tell you, I've seen a lot of zombie movies, but that, and a lot of them were okay, some of them were great, but, on that scale, this movie and Brad Pitt, that this movie just sucked total ass, 100%, and I like Brad Pitt,
Yeah.
and they really jacked that movie up. I don't know how you could screw up a book that well. Like, it was they did like they didn't give a shit about anything the fan about um, any kind of fan service, you know. Like it was just a total straight vanity Brad Pitt action movie with some zombies every once in a while. That you know, and the zombies were so portrayed so inaccurately in that movie. They. I get it. You thought it would be cool to make like, look, we got zombies and they're like moving like a hive. They're like a mass of just like zombie bodies, and they're flowing over the walls and doing like climbing. They're making towers so they can get over. But here's the thing: it wasn't like that in the book. In the book, it was World War Z. It's one of the best books I ever read. And I'm kind of an idiot when it comes to I'm not an idiot. Like I said, average IQ. I'm sure never been tested. At least average, probably, most likely, maybe. But anyway, like, so I just don't get into reading a lot, but when I find something that interests me, and it could be just the weirdest shit, I will read it until I finish it every chance I get.
Yeah.
But that happens rarely. Like every 4 or 5 years, I'll find a book that and I'll sit down and read enough of it to like it, and I'll read it. So picked up World War Z at an airport. Never heard of it. Never heard of Max Brooks, who's the author of it. Who he also wrote the Zombie Survival Guide. The Zombie Survival Guide. I think there was another movie he wrote. Anyway, but so the World War Z was written by Max Brooks, and in the book, Max Brooks is the protagonist. He's the main character. Well, sort of. He's the main character. So it follows him, and the story in the book World War Z is set 12 years after we declared victory against the zombie apocalypse, right? Because like the zombie apocalypse happened, and it started spreading all over the world. You know, like governments, like yeah, obviously communications was shut down. Like governments lost total control. Like countries just uh, they weren't even there was no leadership. There was like chaos and confusion. Countries like nuked a couple other countries. I think I can't remember for sure. Look at this squirrel moment. I got two cameras. I got two, but I ain't using them. So anyway, so the book is basically Max Brooks is he's a reporter, and the U.S. government that has rebuilt itself after the zombie war. Uh, they hired Max Brooks to travel around the world and to document every people from all over the world, the survivors, to document their stories. And so every
Mhm.
chapter is like a different survivor story, and it's their story as he's interviewing them. So they're just and they have like one story about this Russian special forces chick. She's like a badass. It's a crazy story, but it also their stories also kind of progress you along, so it shows you kind of what they show you patient zero and the Chinese doctor, because it started in China. It started in China. So why'd you call it that? Because it came from China. Anyways, so so there was like patient zero, and but they don't explain like where it came from, how it happened, none of that crap. But um anyway, so and then after that, so that's the doctor telling his story about patient zero. Was a young kid. When he first saw the kid like was they had him restrained, they had him tied up. But when he walked into the room that they had the kid tied up in, he saw the doctor, and he had like a feral look in his eyes. The way Max Brooks, if you haven't read World War Z, you really should, and you'll realize if you thought World War Z the movie was good, you'll realize how much of a piece of garbage that it actually is. And I like Brad Pitt,
You
but
want to ruin World War Z for yourself.
yeah, or if you want to redeem it, If you
Yeah,
hated
true.
the
That's
movie
true.
as much as I do, and I don't even give a shit about spoilers, I will quickly spoil World War Z, and it's not hard to do because it's your standard generic little crappy friggin' Brad Pitt save the day action movie. It's like CG zombies, and wow, it's cool, it's awesome. Walking Dead way better. Walking Dead was good because it's a series, and it can kind of you can follow characters and you get close to them and then they fucking kill them and you get pissed and you're like, I'm not watching this fucking show anymore. And then you come back and you watch it anyway next week because you had to know, because you loved to hate Shane. I just hated Shane just so much. Like, I've hated that guy in Walking Dead. Anyways,
I don't
but
remember who
but
Shane was.
Shane was Rick's
Oh,
partner.
that's the other
Yes,
cop that Rick.
yes.
Oh yeah,
Hated him. He was sleeping with his wife. Oh my god. Ah,
Dory.
ah. God,
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 fucking,
God. It makes me
fucking,
want to
oh,
fuck Shane.
oh.
That dude sucked so bad. I used to get so mad. I would be physically yelling at the TV. I'd be like, I'm not watching this anymore because Rick's being a little bitch about everything. He knows this. Anyway. All right. So, but see that, in my opinion, World War Z should be a series, like Netflix should pick it up and do, or Amazon. Actually, Amazon's better with Fallout, which came out recently. Amazon's way
Mhm.
better right now, I think. So, but they should pick that up and do that. But anyways, so yeah, so the government eventually, either China or Russia or the US, or we won't really know because it won't matter. One of there's they're gonna make some kind of ultra virus and it's gonna leak. Oops. And next thing you know, oh shit, look at that. Zombies. It was in movies. It was in movies, bro. Bro, can you believe this shit's real? It's like Crocs. Nobody thought people would wear that shit. Now look, everybody's wearing Crocs. Back in the day, one day we're gonna be sitting there thinking. You remember? One day we're gonna be sitting here, like live streaming over some ham radio bullshit and in some underground bunker because zombies have taken over the world, and we're gonna be laughing, talking about how we thought it was silly that zombies could take over the world.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just
I can
saying.
see that. 100%.
Now, World War Z should have been a series because they could have done each season. They could have followed a different character and they could have told their story. So it'd have been like kind of like what's that show that was good the first season but then sucked? American Horror Story.
Oh,
Like
okay.
first season was good, but then it sucked after that. Uh, anyways, but yeah, so World War Z could have been a success, or it could even be like a good. I don't want you to shut down. My headphones trying to shut down. So World War Z could have been good. Could have been good. Fucked it up. It could have been a like a trilogy, you know,
Hmm.
and they could have actually said it. They they why would you set it in present time? Why would you set it in present time in the Brad Pitt? Why would you allow that in that movie? That I was so excited for that movie, and y'all ruined it. Why couldn't you just set it in the future? That was the cool part, you know. All the crazy jobs people have after the zombies took over. And I'm not going to spoil the book because but I can spoil the movie without spoiling the book because it's not even close to being the same fucking thing. It's a
Hmm.
completely not even close. Oh, look at that. The hero
Sure.
found the look at that. The hero found the cure at the end. Yay! Brad Pitt found the cure, everybody. Fucking great. Moreover, it wasn't that easy in the book. It was crazy. They had to develop this strategy that, like, people had banded up in these factions, and there was like warlords and stuff. It was like if you ever seen the movie The Road, it was like The Road with zombies, which is fucking a terrible thing to even imagine. Have you seen The Road?
Yeah.
That is that's a you hadn't seen it? Oh my god, dude, that's a horrible movie. That movie will make you just depressed. Yeah, and
Oh,
as a fan of Fallout, I'm a huge fan of the game Fallout and the show that came out. I thought it was gonna suck ass. Ended up being pretty good. Decent job, Amazon. But even that storyline is heavily laden with zombie. You know, they have ghouls. Just
mhm.
like back like Tim said, Night of the Living Dead, they had ghouls. They called them ghouls. They didn't call them zombies. But
Right.
I think my favorite zombie movie is Return of the Living Dead. The first Return of the Living Dead. Yeah, because they have Return of the Living Dead 2, but it was basically just a reboot of the Return of the Living Dead. That was the one
Gotcha.
that was the one that had what's her name in it? Oh my god. Dude, she's like a 80s scream queen. Oh, it'll come to me. Tim probably knows. Left for Dead was good back in the day, but then now the first person shooter zombie shooter games are just like like I think Dead by Daylight is a cool game. I think it's Dead by Daylight. Is it Dead by Daylight or is it Yeah, I think it's Dead by Daylight because you had the Juggernaut edition that just came out. Anyway, that was a good game because you can kind of build your little bases and stuff and start colonies and everything. That's kind of cool. I wish they would have
Mhm.
expanded on that more in Fallout 4, or maybe they will in Fallout 5. I don't know. Anyways, everybody loves a good post-apocalyptic scenario like story with some, but you got to have some zombies in there, man. Because look
Mhm.
at it's to like it's a reflection of what we did to ourselves, because it's always because of like radiation or a virus or you know whatever, right?
Just us being fucking stupid. Yeah.
Right. So we basically did it to ourselves. So it's like here, you're just holding a mirror up to yourself. Look at me and being artsy. Uh yeah. But Night of the Living Dead, I think is a good movie. It's okay. Some people go, oh man, it's my favorite movie. And it's not my favorite movie. Uh, Dawn of the Dead was good. Dawn of the Dead was crazy because that was when like uh, oh my god, the George
I like
Romero.
Song of the Dead
That's
better.
when Shaun of the Dead was good. That was awesome. That was awesome. That okay. Shaun of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead, Shaun of the Dead, and
What?
Zombieland are my three favorite horror. No, can't even say that because you got Brain Dead also, which is an Australian horror movie. Like that's another good movie. Like practical effects, low budget. Linnea
Yeah.
Quigley, thank you, Tim. Thank you, Tim. Yes, I appreciate that. Yes, so Linnea Quigley, she's famous in that scene in that movie where she's like, I fantasize about being eaten alive by old men, and then she gets eaten
What?
alive by old men because she
Oh.
gross. Oh god. Anyway, what was her name in the movie though? It was oh god damn it. I'm not looking these things up because I'm trying to make my brain work. This thing called plasticity, and I don't have much of it. I thought playing Sudoku would help me get my brain cells back. It didn't work. Uh,
You know, I ain't
is her
getting any
name
brain
Trash?
cells
Is her
back.
name Trash? I think her name's Trash. Yeah. Oh, dude, I called it. I said it the same time as you freaking
Yeah.
put it in the chat, Tim. I said it the same time, bro. I don't know what that looked like on the delay, but I called it. Yes, thank you.
That
Yeah,
means he
dude,
put it in.
that movie, but you know what really freaked me out the most about zombies when I was like 4 or 5, what, 6, probably 6, was Michael Jackson's Thriller, dude. Because the end of that video, they all close, all the zombies, they get trapped in the house or what. All the zombies, they surround them. They're all closing in on them, and that's like, wow, that is right next to the Exorcist, the Reagan from the Exorcist, the first one, not the second one because that was horse shit. But Reagan from the first one, that was she terrified me for years. Still does. I still won't watch Exorcist. But now I have gotten past
Really?
my kinemortophobia, okay, my fear of zombies. I've gotten past it, conquered it, all right. And I moved on a long time ago. And yeah, so I love zombie movies now. And I used to pride myself on saying I'd seen them all, but there's been a lot of new zombie movies come out. Have you seen
Mhm.
any good zombie movies lately? Hey, did you see Army of the Dead?
What?
Army of the Dead. Knowing it, Army of the Dead.
No, no,
That had it
Colleen's
had
right. We don't really.
Batista. Well, didn't it have Batista in it?
I don't know. We didn't watch it, but we don't really watch a whole lot of zombie movies. We kind of feel like the zombie concept is played out a bit on movies.
Yeah, but you always hope that somebody's gonna do something great with it.
You can hope. I
I
mean,
think
but
it'll happen
like,
again.
I feel like the best ones are
Carnival
in
of
the
Souls.
are
Yeah,
behind
Carnival of
us.
Souls is a good movie. Carnival of
I
Souls.
feel like all the good zombie movies are behind us.
Day of
You know.
Day of the Dead is one of my favorite, like, serious zombie movies. That is a great movie where they're, with the military people and scientists. And you got Bub, the zombie that they got chained to the wall, and he's like trying to teach him how to do shit he did when he was alive, like shave and shit. And the zombie's like, "Arr," and he kind of like likes the doctor and shit. It's fucking weird. But it's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's one of my favorite zombie movies. I thought what's his name was that Zack Snyder remake of was that Zack Snyder did the new Dawn of the Dead in 2004.
No clue.
Yeah, I think it was maybe Zack Snyder or Mike. Yeah, Zack Snyder. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, that's one of the best reboots of a old movie that I have ever seen. It's one of the few successes because that was on point. Like the original Dawn of the Dead, that was kind of silly. They were riding around in a mall, just fucking like throwing pies in zombies' faces and shit. They were just having a good time, getting high, whatever, making a movie. Basically, nobody was getting paid, you
Yeah.
know. So
Right. Yeah.
anyways, so zombie apocalypse. What are you gonna do, Austin? Like, where are you gonna go? Like, knowing everything knowing all these possibilities. You got the runner zombies. You got the shamblers. You got crawlers. Hell, there's zombies that walk on the bottom of the oceans and ponds and stuff. So the water is even a danger, right? So islands, it might take them a while, but it's still a possibility. It's still not a 100%. So where would you go to get away from the zombies?
I would go. I mean, I would probably go to like. I mean, if I would I be able to just travel anywhere? Like I could just pick a spot, or
No,
is it like limited to how far I could
like if this shit happened in 5 minutes, there was a public service announcement. zombies. They just come out and said it, called it like it was. Hey, yeah, they're zombies. They're coming. They're people, dead people coming back to life, and they are eating the living, just like in Dawn of the Dead, 2004. You got
I
what
would
you got
go.
right now. What you got on right now, and like you got what you got. What would you do?
I mean, I'd probably first off stay here at the house because one, I'm out in the middle of fucking nowhere, so like it's gonna take a minute to get to me, anyways. Two, if that didn't work, I would probably either go to the jail because it's a secure facility. I can close that door on the inside and it's locked all, you know what I mean? Um, however, I would also think
So
about
what would be
going
the
to like
first
the gun
thing that you
store
would
in
do?
town,
What would be the first thing that you would do? Like, what's your first thought?
run into town.
I think
I
it's
need to
kind
get
of
some
like
ammo.
almost disaster survival, right? So you want to make sure you got a supply of water and food first,
Yeah,
medicine,
obviously, yeah, I'd want to stock up on pretty much everything, especially
and then
ammo. And
ammo, and then ammo. Yeah,
I'd
ammo's like
probably need
after
to get
after you
another
got water,
gun.
food, medicine. Those are the things you need to live. So medicine's like take what you got, whatever. But food, water, as much as you can. So that's common, right? Yeah, it's normal. But like
Hmm.
stay at your house or go to a place that you could secure. That's what you were saying about going to the jail. Like staying at your house may be could be like I mean, yeah, your house, but you can only fortify it so much. You know what I mean? And it's you got wood if it's just wood or even just a brick facade with a wood frame.
Hmm.
Think about that. A
Well,
horde of zombies pushing on a wall could push a wall down. I mean, they could push chain link fences down. There'd be no fence that would stop them, really.
I mean, I
Uh,
feel like eventually I would make my way over to the jail, and then we would stay fortified in there and plus we'd be in town, so if we like needed to get supplies, we could. However, we'd also be in the heart of the problem. So I mean,
yeah, there's more of
but
a
the
population,
jail is
right?
fortified. The jail is fortified, so we could probably, if we got supplies, we could hold off for a little while at the jail. You know what I
Let's
mean?
see
Like if we
where
had
you're gonna get these
supplies, we
supplies.
could.
Like, where are you gonna get supplies from?
I mean, if I started seeing like you started seeing everything spread, like you start like even just a little bit, like there's a small case, like a few people got a virus, like that's my sign right there. Like go stock up, take all the money out, stock up,
Fill up all
like
your
let's
gas
go.
tank. No, I'm trying to be
Yeah,
mobile,
fill
dude. I'm gonna be mobile. I'm gonna get mobile. Like I think there's a lot of things people overlook about like let's say we had a classic zombie World War Z book, World War
and
Z,
then you would have to come pick Colleen and I up
shit, we could meet
because
somewhere in the middle. Meet somewhere in the
bro,
middle. The problem
I'm
is there's not gonna
staying.
be any communication, so I'm not gonna know if you're alive or not. So I ain't driving to Ohio on the off chance that Austin might have made it. You're gonna have to get a hold of me somehow. That's what I'm saying. Like there'd be no communication. There'd be no cell phones. There'd be no like ham
That's true.
radio would be the main way to communicate.
Fair enough.
You know,
Fair enough. Yep.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
No,
it
that's
had to be
true.
super viral, and I feel like it would have to be similar to. It would have to go down similar to the way the Walking Dead show portrayed it. From the comic book, which is even better comic book. They kind of drug out the show and made it
Yeah.
suck a bit, but anyways, but
Yeah.
like if you like when you die, you turn regardless, right? Like doesn't
Hmm.
matter if you
Well,
got
because
if
everybody,
you fucking die from cancer, you're gonna be a zombie. If you die of pneumonia, if you fall off a cliff, you're coming back.
no, it's because everybody's been exposed to it, right? So, like, even like it basically you were exposed to it, and the catalyst for the virus would have been you got bit or you die
Well, see, like
or
using
whatever, right?
common sense, right? Like I know we're saying common sense when we're talking about zombie apocalypse, but okay, if you're thinking rationally, the name of the game is outlasting them, right? Because if they are zombies are like they're still going to be like rotting and stuff, right? Like especially like if it's your
I don't
classic
know if
style
you can
zombie.
outlast a zombie.
Why not
Can you
though?
outlast a
How
zombie?
long does it take a body without like a fully functional heart and brain and organs? How long will it take your body to decay just to bones?
Well, I guess that brings up another question as to how yeah, does a zombie could it just be a skeleton? Like because it
How would
doesn't
it? That's
need
then you're getting into a magical type of zombie though, because that's not
well, I
something
guess where's that line?
physically
Like you're saying,
impossible.
where's that line of like where does a
It has
zombie
to.
where
It only makes sense that zombies would break down and they would like pretty quickly.
once the brain is
Now the
deteriorated?
disease might slow down the decay process. You know what I'm saying? It might preserve them, their flesh a little bit, but if we're going off the classic zombie like trope, they're still rotting eventually, right? They're
Mhm.
not eating, their cells aren't like what's there might be preserved for a little bit longer, but I think the movie or the book World War Z had it pretty good when they took into account they did it pretty well when they took into account that cold weather, right? What happens to inanimate objects or things that aren't warm blooded, like zombies ain't warm blooded and they don't have beating hearts or they don't, right? So
Rigor
what happens
mortis.
well, they're gonna freeze in the cold weather.
Oh,
They're
that
gonna
too.
freeze.
That
As soon as
too.
it gets down to like 10, bro, they're done. They're freaking zombie fish sticks.
Yeah, yeah. That's
And
true.
there was even one story in the World War Z book where there's these people, I think it was their job to actually walk around and they were in like Canada, somewhere in northern Canada, and they were just smashing zombies' heads that were frozen to the ground. And that's how they were
Yep.
kind of because in the book, the zombies were still around, but we had beat them, figured out ways to overcome them, beat back the
Yeah,
spread, be fortified places, and anyway, got control of
right,
them.
right.
But anyways, so yeah, I mean, I think outlasting them is what you want to do. So you got to have a place that you could go to. And Tim, I see you put Sam's Club in the gun store. That's where everybody's going, bud. Everybody's going to friggin' well, not Walmart anymore, but Sam's Club. Ain't many gun stores, dude. And you try to go to these little small gun stores, and they're gonna be worse than just going head on with zombies. Like I'll take a zombie over like some of these gun store owners, bro. They're gonna blast you, dude. You try to go there and just take guns and ammo. Your money's not gonna
Well,
be
I
any
would
good.
hang out at the gun store. I would just
Why
hang
why
out
would
there,
they
see
let
if they
you?
would let me
Why
in.
would they let you? Why would they let you? Well, you're an extra mouth to feed, dude, and they got all the weapons ammo they need. I don't see them
But I'm
being
also extra help
I see
and an
generosity
extra
going out the
fire.
window. No, yeah, but you're extra mouth to feed too.
Yeah,
And yeah,
I
yeah,
guess.
you're an extra mouth to feed.
I'm
Yeah,
an
and that's
extra
the
hand
way
to
that's the way when
hold
it
a
gets down to
firearm
like
too.
survival situations. Yeah, but they maybe
Yeah,
like
true.
you know what I'm saying? You want a small group, like
I guess what makes me
four
so
to
fucking
six,
special,
four to
right?
six
What makes any
people.
of us so special?
No, no,
All
no.
right,
But you know you have to be in with them is what I'm saying. Like, yeah, if you're buddies with the dude that owns the gun store downtown, sure, that's gonna be an option for you. Now, if
right.
zombie apocalypse breaks out, hey, there's a gun store in town, never been there before. I'm gonna go see if they'll let me join their ranks. They're gonna tell you to go get fucked.
Yeah,
Because why?
yeah, they
Why
would.
would you take on more people to feed more responsibility? Somebody you might take on somebody that could backstab you, betray you, whatever.
Yep,
That's the name of the game, right? And in any post-apocalyptic scenario, I believe,
yeah,
kill the brain, kills the reanimation, right? So the brain stem. Right. I like to, when I'm doing my imaginary zombie scenarios, apocalypse scenarios, I like to go with the shambling zombies, right? They're not stupid slow, but they're quick shamblers. All right, it's a quick enough shamble to be concerning. Like if you don't hear them sneaking up on you, they get you. But
Go
uh,
get you.
they get you, and But here's the thing: zombies. I don't think in order for them to spread the zombie virus, they couldn't eat you. They couldn't eat people like all of you because then they wouldn't be able to make more zombies because they'd be eating their
Well, I think
potential
like
future
same in the
recruits.
classic. Well, yeah, but like in the classic other zombie fashion, they'll only eat like a little bit and then
Right, and
move
move on.
on.
Right. Well, and then but in World War Z,
So
they
every
talked about
zombie has like a
it was
piece
like
of chunk of them missing or something.
it was like they were perpetually forever starving and they could never eat enough, and they would eat until their stomach like actually swole up and exploded, and they would actually be eating, and then flesh is coming out of their stomach while they're eating, putting it in, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just a primal instinct to feed is what drives them. That's
Yeah.
crazy. And suppose in that story they're blind, but they kind of communicate with these moans. That's how they form hordes. They
Mm-hmm.
start like I guess or whatever, and and then all the other zombies. They said it was like like a shrill like scream, like a low guttural scream, and it was like a call to all the other zombies, and that's how they would horde up. And he just really put a lot of thought in it. One thing I'm gonna close this up here, but one thing he didn't put into one thing Max Brooks did not take into account for zombie apocalypse is, and this is key, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that ever thought of this. Y'all can look it up, but I'm pretty sure it's true, so don't even bother. Trust me. During in the event of a zombie apocalypse, there's a thing that will cause zombies issues. It's a thing called underwear, pants. Yes, think about your pants. No, I'm serious. I'm being serious. Okay, think about your pants. Okay, how many times you
Mm-hmm.
pull your pants up a day? Just normal day. How many times you pull your pants up? Hmm?
Quite a
Probably,
lot, actually.
yeah, a lot, right? If you didn't pull your pants up a dozen or more times a day, your pants would, at some point during the day, be probably around your ankles.
At least men, for sure. I mean, women, I feel like because women actually have ass to like hold the
Some
pants
women,
up,
but
whereas
women got
most
panties.
men,
Women got panties too. They wearing panties. They're gonna
yeah.
lose
I
weight.
mean,
They're
it's
gonna
true.
lose
I mean,
weight.
it'll happen to
They're gonna
everybody,
drop.
but
Hey,
like,
just saying, when you turn into a zombie woman, you lose a lot. It's the zombie diet. You lose a lot of weight,
that
but
is a
but
good question. How
your
is it that a
panties
lot of their
drop
pants stay?
instantly. The zombie chick's
You know,
panties
that
drop.
is something that is weird. I didn't even notice that. That like a lot of them have their pants still, and they're just
Right. How would
like
you
pants are
like
not
even with a
falling
belt
down.
on,
Like,
your
how does
pants are
that?
gonna fall off. Yeah, if you're all
Right.
shrunken
Well,
and like
especially yeah,
emaciated
if you're
and stuff.
losing mass and decaying, yeah, you
Yeah,
would
your
think
pants
like
are gonna fall off. And plus they're gonna
eventually
rot.
you're just gonna.
Yeah, so you're gonna be and so what you're gonna end up having is like the majority of zombies will be is people crawling around. They'd be crawling around with their pants around their ankles, you
You know,
know.
today though, in
Just
today's
saying.
generation, it depends. In today's generation, many women that would wear the leggings. So like at that point, they'll stay on for quite a while, I
Now
guess.
they'll come down too. Think about it. You just
Eventually.
dehydrating, you'd lose so much weight almost instantly with not taking in water. You're gonna dehydrate, you're gonna shrivel up, and anything you're wearing on your lower extremities is coming down around your ankles. Don't give a shit what it is.
I mean, I
Think
see
about
how
it.
small these things are when I pull them out of the dryer, and they're like this big, and somehow Colleen fits into them, like stretch out like fucking crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like I feel like if you were to wear them, and even if you were to like become super small, like your body mass were baggy, but
He's
eventually they
saying
would
your
be
pants are
baggy, but they
so
would stay
tight.
up for a
He's
long
saying your
time.
pants are so tight that they are grafted to your skin, basically, Colleen.
Oh, leggings, dude. Leggings stretch like a motherfucker.
Well, yeah, sure, but I mean that. Yeah, but again, everybody pulls
You
their
don't know
pants up.
how to wear leggings.
I've seen plenty of
Yeah,
women wearing leggings, pulling it, straightening their pants, straightening them up, pulling them up, doing their thing, pulling their
wearing
wedgies out of their
small
ass
ones.
and shit. It's
Hold
gross. I don't know
up.
why women do that in public, but it's gross.
Okay.
It's like, oh, I just
uh,
feel the need to just pull
maybe
pull my
so. That's
underwear out of my
probably true.
crack right in public. I just seen
It
it
would
the other
definitely be
day.
a
It's
bigger
not.
problem than most people
It's
would
like really?
think. I
Yes,
agree.
yes.
It would
The
definitely be a
underwear.
much bigger problem than it's
I call it the
portrayed.
underwear paradox.
Serious, it is a serious problem that most of
I
these
mean,
shows and movies do not address
they do not. I have never seen that be addressed in a zombie movie, period. And I feel
or
like,
show.
or show, or any sort of media, that I've never
Like,
seen
why
that.
aren't we seeing some naked corpses or whatever? Like, what's going on?
I feel like if I have, like, when I die, if I've ever made a contribution to the world, it's going to be the underwear paradox theory.
Do you think, let me just say, do you think that when we turn into zombies, we're just gonna tear our clothes off? We don't even, we
No,
probably
no,
don't have
No.
the
no. Your
do
your
Do
that.
you
pants are
not
gonna
have you not
fall
heard
off.
been listening to what we've been saying?
Your pants are gonna fall off.
You're,
Think about how many times you pull your pants up every day, Colleen. How many times you pull your
he has
pants up
not been
every
paying
day,
attention to this conversation at all.
Colleen? So the point is
How
that if
many
you pull
times do
your
you pull
pants
your
up,
pants up every day?
if
A lot.
A lot. So when you're a
right. So what
zombie
if
or
you
when you're
were a mindless
decaying,
zombie and
you're
you did not have the
We'll still
foresight
have
to
our
pull
shirt
off?
on.
just off the
Yeah,
shirt.
but your
Yeah.
pants are
We'll
gonna be
still have
around
our
your
shirts.
ankles.
So,
Yeah, but that ain't gonna
well,
help
then
you
we'll
walk.
fall, never learn how to get back up.
Yes, you're
That's
gonna
our
be crawling
fault.
around with your pants around your ankles for eternity, or until you rot, and or somebody
And
puts you out of
movies
your
do
misery.
not portray that. Is what the argument is. It's like movies and
Give me
TV
some
shows
credit,
about zombies
Colleen.
don't
Just say
ever
good
put
job,
that in
Jamie.
there. Then yeah, just say good job because he did come up with a valid theory. It's a valid point
It's a valid
that
point.
no zombie movies, no zombie shows do not.
No, they
There may have been
They
don't.
a
do
joke
not ever
somewhere.
put
There may have
that.
been a
They don't
joke
address it.
somewhere. Well, there might have been a joke in one of these little horror comedy
I mean,
zombie type
somebody has
movies
had the thought about it,
somewhere. I'm sure there was a
right?
joke, but nobody has ever brought that
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 seems like a
concept.
Shaun of the Dead type of joke,
But
but
that's
I
an
don't think it's
that
in
is
Shaun
a
of the Dead.
but that's
It's a
like
valid
a
point.
damning.
It's a
That's a
valid question.
damning. Yeah, it's a solid thing that
That's
could
a huge
potentially
plot hole. It's a plot hole.
it is a plot hole. There you
It's a
go.
big
It's a
plot
plot
hole.
hole. It is a plot hole. It is. But I
And
mean, I'm just
in
saying.
every zombie movie, in
Yes.
every zombie, anything zombie related, it's a
You
huge
should see way
plot hole
more
in every single
people
one.
walking around or crawling around with their pants around their ankles in way more zombie movies.
So we will
I'm serious.
all have
You
to
could
make
just
sure
walk
that
up.
we're
You could
wearing
just sneak
like
up behind zombies and pants them. Just pants all of them that haven't already pants
they
themselves.
eat themselves.
I'm
And
surprised
yeah,
that there has not been any shows, any movies specifically that have not had somebody do that, especially these comedies. Like, what the fuck? That would seem like it would be so effective in limiting the mobility of these things.
Tim,
It's
I'm gonna have
just
to
make a movie.
disagree with you. Tim, Tim says only the original Night of the Living Dead had a naked zombie outside of the farmhouse. Are you saying that that's the only movie that had a naked zombie?
Katie has
Only
seen every single
because
possible zombie
Return of the
iteration
Living
in
Dead
this.
Crash, she was a naked zombie after she was actually met her demise at you know the way she wanted to go out, being eaten alive by old men. She came back as a zombie with a crazy huge mouth and was started eating brains. So that was Linnea Quigley. That was Linnea Quigley. Linnea Quigley knows a lot about eating brain or giving brain. She's done her share over the years. She even made a workout video. It was a horror workout video, and it was her. She was doing aerobics and shit. It was in the 80s, and she had like zombies and as the people that were working out in the background. It was pretty funny.
Mm, yeah.
Obviously terrible. Obviously terrible, but I saw. Speaking of scream queens, I saw oh my god, dude! I have such terrible time with names. Sybil Danning. I saw Sybil Danning a couple weeks ago. Did I say that already on here? She used to be
Never
a
heard of
big
it.
scream queen type. She was in The Howling 2. So the key thing to remember, Howling 2, my takeaway was werewolf orgy. That was like, I never thought I'd ever come across that in any kind of situation, even in a
That would
movie. But so yeah, that
our
was that
boys
was
and girls. That's the key thing to remember, boys and girls, is zombie orgy.
yeah. It's like, hey, look, no, it wasn't zombies. It was werewolves. Hey, look, werewolf orgy. It's
Werewolf
weird.
orgy. All right, boys and
Werewolf
girls,
orgy.
that's the key thing to remember.
Right up.
Werewolf
Take a
orgy.
look. Take a peep at the werewolf orgy, kids.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
we have zero viewers now. We have gone way off the deep end at this point. Evil Dead is one of my
Yep.
favorite horror movies. All right, but you guys, love all y'all. Thank y'all for watching and suffering to the end. Tim, we love you. And everybody else, Beth, yep, you too. Can't wait to see you also. And everybody take it easy and stay spooky.